Hello and welcome to another episode here in Yabong, Pilipinas. In this episode, we will talk about the four major paradigms of agricultural extension. So if you are new here in this channel, I am Josh and my mission here in Yabong, Pilipinas is to democratize access to agricultural education. Ang meaning lamang nun is gagawin nating mas accessible online yung contents or yung coverage ng licensure examination for agriculturists. And if you are new here, kindly please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell para you will be updated whenever I post contents here. And as much as possible, I'm trying na yung mga contents na i-release natin ay sustainable. Kaya tayo nagbe-base din sa TOS. And I think if magbabago man yung TOS along the way, I will still create contents about the licensure. And also, if you will notice, my structure when it comes to the questions ay not solely based doon sa typical na structure sa structure ng licensure katulad ng, for example, objective lang. What is the blah? Hindi lang siya ganon. I also am doing situational questions kasi nga sabi ko kanina, ginagawa ko siyang sustainable. What if someday ang maging amats ng ating mga ang tawag doon, examiners ay maging situational lahat yung boards. So, para at least maging useful para nitong resources na to whenever na makita mo tong video na to. I mean, decades, ganyan. Pero yeah, let us start with this video. So, number your papers from 1 to 15. I think this will be a very quick video. No? Tapos mamaya 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Anyway, let's start. Number 1. A farmer is given a package of technology for rice farming, which includes seed variety, fertilizer schedule, and pest control practices. This is an example of which extension paradigm? A. Advisory services. B. Technology transfer. C. Non-formal education. Or letter D. Facilitation extension. Ano ko lang, na ang goal ko here in Yabong Pilipinas is ma-understand nyo yung concepts, hindi lang through memorization. Because most of the time, we rely more on memorization, especially for the boards. But I feel like memorization, well, studies show na ang memorization, it's the lowest form of learning kasi kapag ma-atake ka ng, like, ano bang tawag doon? Mental block kapag exam, possible na mawala lahat ng memorize mo. Unlike kapag na-understand mo talaga yung concepts of these paradigms, for example, these frameworks, mas ano siya, kasi situational yung nire-review mo. So, ayun yung goal ko here. Not the typical na, okay, isang question, isang sagot, tapos explain lang kung bakit. I think because most of the review centers ay ganun din naman yung parang format. So, ang format ko here in Yabong Pilipinas is like, more of like the opposite, like really lecturing about everything. Ganun. So, magsawa kayo sa bosses ko. Okay, so ayun lang. The answer here is technology transfer. Later, we will have a discussion of all of the paradigms. Pero here, I'm looking at yung mga ano lang. I'm presenting or giving you different types of situations na ganito yung example, yung mga paradigms. Okay, number 2. The technology transfer model is also called a blank approach. A. Participatory. B. Bottom-up. C. Top-down. Or letter D. Facilitative. The answer here is top-down approach. Number 3. Technology transfer is often criticized for being A. Farmer-centered. B. Too participatory. C. One-way communication. D. Long-term in focus. The answer is C. One-way communication. So here is one of the four major paradigms of agricultural extension, which is technology transfer. From the term itself, yung mismo technology or yung package of technology na meron tayo, halimbawa, bagong variety ng rice, bagong variety ng ganitong crop, o kaya naman bagong produkto na tingin natin ay mas makakapagpaginhawa or mas makakapagpadali ng proseso ng ating mga magsasaka. So yung mga teknolohiya na yon, tina-transfer natin sa farmer. So kaya siya top top-down approach. So research papunta sa ating mga farmers. So the focus here is on big food crops. So here in the Philippines, karaniwan ang meron talagang technology transfer ng mga initiatives or ang karaniwan talaga natin na ina-extend ang focus in the Philippines in our economy ay yung mga big food crops katulad ng rice, ng corn, which are heavy players or top produced na crops here in the Philippines. Discuss din natin yon in the nature and importance of agriculture. Ang top 5 na mga crops in the Philippines, yan, mga rice, corn, coconut, sugarcane, yung mga yan. So, the goal here is to increase food production and reduce food costs. Okay, so kumbaga, para itong teacher to student style. Kasi yung teacher, siya yung nagsasalita, siya yung nagbibigay, like yung conventional. Siya yung nagbibigay ng information, then yung student, siya yung nagre-receive ng information. So yung mga scientists at experts na nagbibigay ng diretsyong instruction kung ano yung technology or yung methods na gagamitin ng ating mga magsasaka. So it is also here, para nandyan sa photo. Ayan, nakinuha ko lang naman sa Canva. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung mga yan. Okay, number 4. Which extension method fits best when farmers approach an extension agent about a specific pest infestation in eggplant? A. Advisory services. B. Facilitation extension. C. Non-formal education. Or letter D. Technology transfer. The answer here is A. Advisory services. Number 5, advisory services are often characterized as A, problem solving, B, top-down instruction, C, workshop-based training, D, participatory learning. The answer here is A, problem solving. Number 6, which is true about advisory services? A, usually provided only by government. B, farmers are passive learners. C, both public and private sectors may deliver it. D, avoids one-on-one consultation. True about advisory services, the answer is C, both public and private sectors may deliver it. Number 7, the word advised in advisory services implies A, mandatory adoption, B, optional recommendation, C, formal education, or letter D, group facilitation. The answer here is letter B, optional recommendation. Okay, so ito naman ang structure, ang estruktura. Magtatagalog kasi dapat ako pero naging English eh. Wow. So ito yung structure ng advisory services. We have farmers ask questions, nagtatanong sila, then yung eksperto naman, sila yung nagbibigay ng solusyon. So parang nakikita natin in this photo. So possible na in this photo, this is the expert and this is the farmer. Yeah, so this can be public, managed by the government, or private, managed by companies. So farmers are advised to use certain practices or technology. So advisory services. So para itong consultation or check-up. So kung may mga problema yung mga magsasaka, lumalapit sila sa extension worker para humingi ng solusyon. So parang tanong, tas merong sagot na system. Okay, number 8. A cooperative organizes skills training for mushroom production for farmers without formal agri background. This approach is facilitation extension, non-formal education, advisory services, or technology transfer. Cooperative. The answer here is B, non-formal education. Non-formal education is best described as A, formal university training, B, structured degree program, C, skills-based learning outside formal schools, D, pure consultation. The answer is C, skills-based learning outside formal schools. Number 10, which is an example of NFE? A, farmer field school, B, agricultural engineering course in college, C, municipal agriculturist consultation, D, government subsidy distribution. The answer here is A, farmer field school. Number 11, farmer field schools emphasize A, memorization of scientific facts, B, learning by doing, C, top-down instruction, D, one-on-one consultation. The answer here is B, learning by doing. So ito naman yung non-formal education. So these are training for farmers who can't access formal schooling. This is a huge concept in the field of agricultural extension. Katulad ng diniscuss natin in the introduction sa nature and importance of agricultural extension. So nandun din yung term na non-formal education. Isa to sa mga nagbigay ng oportunidad na magkaroon ng extension talaga in other countries then ngayon ay na-adapt here in the Philippines. So these are skills-based na mga trainings. Halimbawa sa pest management, better production practices. Tapos ang halimbawa ng non-formal education ay yung ating tinatawag na farmer field schools. So ang pinaka-concept talaga dito is yung kanina nga learning by doing. So dun sa field mismo. So para siyang short course or workshop kumbaga na hindi kailangan ng diploma. So hands-on yung training katulad ng paano gumamit ng IPM, paano gamitin yung mga bagong technology na binibigay sa kanila, etc. Number 12. In participatory coconut rehabilitation projects, farmers and extensionists jointly decide on practices to adopt. This demonstrates A, facilitation extension, B, technology transfer, C, non-formal education, or letter D, advisory services. The answer here is facilitation extension. Number 13, the key role of an extension worker in facilitation extension is A, teacher, B, knowledge broker, C, inspector, D, advisor. The answer here is knowledge broker. 14. Compared to technology transfer, facilitation extension is more A, top-down, B, participatory, C, centralized, D, instructional. The answer here is participatory. And number 15, the last item, the primary outcome of facilitation extension is A, increased dependence on experts, B, greater farmer participation and empowerment, C, formal certification, D, free advisory consultations. The answer here is greater farmer participation and empowerment. So ito naman yung facilitation extension. So dito, hindi lang basta nagsasalita yung nagla-lecture, kumbaga. So ito ay nangyari from participatory methods 20 to 30 years ago. So here, yung mga farmers natin nag-work together with the extensionists to solve problems. So mas nagiging participatory siya. So ang trabaho na lang dito ng extension worker ay knowledge broker. Ang meaning lang nun para silang guide or facilitator na lamang. Ayan. So ayun ang facilitation extension. So para itong teamwork mode. So hindi na lamang yung mga eksperto, hindi na lang eksperto papunta sa magsasaka. Ngayon, sama-sama na ang farmers at yung extension worker na nag-iisip at gumagawa ng solusyon. So yung extension worker para na siyang coach doon sa problema na kinakaharap ng ating mga magsasaka. So here are the four major paradigms of agricultural extension. We have technology transfer, we have advisory services, we have non-formal education, and facilitation extension. So ayan lang sila. And that's it for this video. If you learned something in this video, can you show your love by liking, subscribing, and also clicking at the notification bell? Notification bell para para updated kayo whenever I post videos. And yeah, share this to the people that you love, to the people that you love, to the people na gusto niyang pumasa ng lecture examinations with you. Ayun lang naman siya. And yeah, I think that's it for this video. Thank you very much for listening. Good luck sa yung review, padayon. See you in the next episode. Bye.